Ashley with Hollywood Junket. We are here with Nakul, one of the choreographers on tonight's show on So You Think You Can Dance. You did an amazing job putting together the Bollywood number. We were so excited to see it. What was the inspiration or behind the story for putting this together?
Well, for me as a Bollywood choreographer, it's always what the lyrics are lending itself, and based on that, I set the number. So for this particular song, it's called Jai Jai Shiva Shankar, which is basically Hail Almighty to a god. But this god in particular, in our culture, he has certain weapons, symbols, gestures. I brought a lot of those into the dance to make it more authentic. But generally speaking, the song's premise was we all have bad days, put that aside, live in the moment, and celebrate now, and let's dance. So that was a song, and that was exact translation.
And I think that they executed that, and that message was so appropriate for the moment, right? For their moment, and you did a great job with that. So what would you say is like the most challenging part about Bollywood dance that most dancers struggle with?
Well, for So You Think You Can Dance, no one's ever come in knowing Bollywood. They've never done it before, and I've been fortunate to be on the show since season 4. Mm-hmm. So when when Kat was saying that it's been 15 years since Twitch audition, I'm like, I remember, because it's been 15 years since I've been on the show myself, and I was just thinking, I had this flashback of just like all those numbers, but time after time, these contestants are so hungry to learn, and they want to stay. They want to do the best they can. They want to make their friends and their studios and their family proud. And when a new cultural form comes into play, whether it be Bollywood or African jazz or whatever it is, I think there's a part of them that switches on a little bit more because they don't want to get it wrong. Because they understand that there's now a sense of doing it right for the show, but also doing it right for the community that has a sense of connection to that. Because you could be insulting someone if you're not doing it right. And for me, Bollywood is, I breathe it, I eat it, I sleep it, but I feel that it's, I'm very passionate about it, and for me, it has to be authentic. It cannot be gimmicky. It cannot be exotified. That's not who I am. I won't even allow it. So for me, any number that I do on the show, it is coming from an authentic place and a place of education. And all the contestants who I've had always walk away going, we learned something that we didn't know. And in my sessions, whether it's So You Think, or whether it's a class, I don't just teach movement. I teach the cultural aspect of where this movement's coming from, because India is so diverse, it's so rich in culture. Imagine each state in the U.S. having its own language, its own food, its own clothing, and on top of that, its own dance styles. That's India. So you take all of that and Western world styles of dance, and you put it together, and that's Bollywood dancing. So I've been fortunate enough to be trained in many styles, so I bring that into my choreography from a true place and not from a place of mimicry.
I love that. And Twitch brought up the fact that they really did honor Bollywood in their dance routine tonight. Do you feel like that was portrayed?
Absolutely, I really did. And I think Twitch comes from a place of experience. I worked with him on Bollywood on season 4, and that number toured. I mean, he was doing it time and time again, and he's seen it throughout the season. So he can tell when something's being done not accurately, and I felt that was so kind of him to say that. And I did feel I did feel it in my heart that they did a great job, and they were authentic to my vision.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What would you say is like the part of Bollywood dance or the tonight's dance that you wanted to make sure they nailed, they really locked in on?
I think the hardest part is keeping the stamina consistent from the minute that you say go to the minute that the song track is done. Mm-hmm. And this one had not too many places to really breathe. Mm-hmm. There were some arches here and there, but generally speaking, it was a sprint. So for me, it's always staying sharp, staying synchronized, and keeping the stamina up. And if that's done, I'm relatively happy. Of course, we all want extra time because as choreographers are greedy. We want another hour and another day because it's never perfect. There's always room for improvement. But what they did was phenomenal, given where we are in the show right now.
Yeah.
They're exhausted,
Yeah.
and they did that. That takes a champion. They're already champions.
They are champions. And my last question, how long did you have to prepare for tonight's routine?
Oh, so we don't get too long. So we usually have around, probably collectively, around 7 hours. Like if you combine everything together, that's maybe it. Yeah, and I'm being kind by saying that. I don't even know if I'm allowed to even say it, but
I think you're okay. I think you're okay, but we appreciate the tea.
not easy.
It's not. Well, you guys, I'm Ashley. This is Nakul. I want to make sure I get your name right.
Perfectly said.
Awesome. You're watching Hollywood Junket. Stay tuned for more interviews.
Bye.
Bye.